Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Shalom. All right. I don't know if you heard, but Iran said they will reopen the Straits of Hormuz, but no more trading in US dollars. Trading must only be done in the Chinese yuan. And you know Donald Trump and them man, I would love to be a fly on the wall because I know they're having the meltdown of the century. And y'all, this is going to make the US dollar practically worthless. The entire planet traded in US dollars. And Iran just in an instance took that away. So I have that coming up at 3:45 and woo, mm, I thought y'all had high IQs. Y'all ran around here for years saying you got high IQ, and you're letting some people from the deserts, they're from the desert, outwit your butt. I love it. I love it. Y'all, this is really going to hurt in a huge way. So you're going to go from the entire world using US dollars, switching over to the Chinese yuan. No wonder why China is going to fight with Iran side by side. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So as long as you got your Chinese yuan, you can sail right on in to the Straits of Hormuz. Woo! Bye bye, dollar. Bye bye for real, because this is a serious blow. Serious. So I'm sure Donald Trump will do what Donald Trump does, y'all. He'll come back with some threats. But being that you're getting your asses kicked by Iran, I don't think them threats are going to have the same impact. I'm just saying. I don't think them threats are going to have the same impact. So, anyway, y'all, we're going to talk about the blame game. Donald Trump, we already know Donald Trump don't take responsibility for anything. I think that's just a culture thing. For real. I think that's a culture thing. And he is blaming everybody for the fact that the US got in this war. And I don't know why his son-in-law is involved in anything. He doesn't have no position at all. But he's mentioned Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and with Witkoff. Yeah, I mean, anybody but Donald Trump is at fault. You know how it is. Everybody is at fault except for Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't at fault. No, he's not the reason why this war is going on. It's everybody but him. This man is a trip for real. And if you didn't want to get in this war, you are the president of the United States. You could have easily said no. We'll find other means of dealing with Iran. We're not going to go to war. You could have said something. You're the president. All of these people that you're blaming, none of them are the president. You are. I'm just saying, you know? So, y'all, let's get into this. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yep. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the US is gonna do is just threaten, "If anybody trade and use the UN, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that." Well, those countries don't really have to say nothing to you. You know what I mean? If they can trade in any currency they want, and number 2, if they do, they're doing it because they need the oil. Their countries need that oil. Thank you, everybody, for the ones.
I'm saying, fuck that. I'm not taking the blame. These motherfuckers gonna get it.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
Typical Donald Trump to blame somebody else. Should have did research before you jumped into that damn war. Even his own party is turning their back on him.
I vote with Republicans 91% of the time. Seeing the 9% I don't, they're taking up for starting another war or bankrupting our.
Now that right there is a true Republican. Ain't be mad at what he said out his mouth. Looks like they're gonna start tossing around the blame game on this one. Should have got Congress approval. Should have voted on this shit. Now the American people are heated. Grocery prices still high and gas is on the rise. But as I always say, this is what y'all voted for.
our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. We more and more are not wanting to be the policeman of the world. I will expel the warmongers from our national security state. We're going to end these endless wars. Endless wars. They're drafting you to go and fight in some country that I'd never heard. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
But fear not, the Trump administration's on it. I mean, this would be like a good episode of The Office if it wasn't so horrific. Well, we don't know what the end is, but now they're all trying to cover their asses and blame other people. And here is where the buck stops, says Donald Trump. Not with me.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
Now we have the list of guys who are responsible for telling the president, oh, what can I do? I just got to listen to my advisors. That was 2 days ago. Yesterday,
the situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
Okay, the blame game has now begun. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and Marco Rubio have been thrown under the bus you don't understand. Now what this has done, essentially, he has taken blame and shifted it to them. So if this presidency doesn't survive, the next presidency, if they decide to punish for this Iraq war, the president has said the 3 people who misled him into this war. That means Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner are responsible for lying to the president and forcing him into a war. That's basically what he just did. He literally just came out and threw his subordinates under the bus. That's insane.
If you go to my TikTok, back up TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, you'll see a link there to my link tree where you can find the email sign up for future meetups that I'm doing, dinners in the city and other cities. You can find my Cash App, my Venmo, my Calendly for people that have been hitting me up saying they want to talk, schedule an appointment. You'll find my YouTube. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to subscribe to my Patreon, that's it right there. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
As Donald Trump's war against Iran proves to be less and less popular by the day, he has decided on a new approach. Now, of course, on Wednesday's stream, I talked about the fact that they have no plan, they have no rationale, they have no allies, they have no plan to get the stranded U.S. folks out of the Middle East. And now Donald Trump says it's all Obama and Biden's fault. Now, I didn't do this. Obama and Biden did. Here's what Donald Trump said in two separate posts on Truth Social. The first one: if I didn't terminate Obama's horrendous Iran nuclear deal, JCPOA, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon 3 years ago. That was the most dangerous transaction we have ever entered into. And had it been allowed to stand, the world would be an entirely different place right now. You can blame Barack Hussein Obama and Sleepy Joe Biden. Thank you, President Trump, he says, thanking himself for lying to the American public. Literally, the reason we're in the situation we are in right this very second is because you got us out of that agreement. It was not that piece, that agreement, the JCPOA, is actually considered the signature foreign policy achievement of Obama. It was heralded at the time. Everybody was like, oh, okay, this is actually a really good deal. We will normalize relations to a degree with Iran.
All right, folks, look, we have some stunning breaking news reporting tonight that threatens to ruin Donald Trump's regime. Right now, Trump is trying to throw the military under the bus, blame them for his war crimes, and they're not happy about it. And they seem ready to come forward and speak. There's this major rift forming where Trump is trying to blame them for his war crimes in the Caribbean, but it's just not going to work, and they're not having it. And this was all contained in this new Washington Post article that dropped tonight. We're going to get into this and more in just a moment. Before I do that, please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment. It all goes such an incredibly long way, and I'm so thankful for your support. But without further ado, let's get into it. It seems like the White House has the person they're going to blame, and it's not Donald Trump, it's not Pete Hegseth, it's an admiral at the Pentagon, at the Department of Defense. Pete Hegseth tonight, addressing these strikes and the ongoing reporting surrounding it, said, let's make one thing crystal clear. Admiral Mitch Bradley is an American hero, a true professional, and has my 100% support. I stand by him and the combat decisions he has made on the—
Oh, yeah. So you just started the war between all those Arab countries in the Middle East and to protect Israel. And now everybody's going after Israel. And you're over there in the United States talking like, you know, you own the world. You know what I mean? This guy is so full of effing shit. It's crazy the way that people are letting this guy get away with this. I mean, what's the use having parliament if they can't even keep their own president intact? He's acting like a king, like nobody can touch him. And, you know, I don't understand why they're even Capitol Hill now. Why bother having elections and that when you just got one suitable king and he's telling everybody what to do, and that's it. America is screwed. I would never want to go to America, and I don't want to be part of America. I'm a proud Canadian, and I don't want to hear nothing about that demon country. Lucifer, the fallen hell in the United States. That's the way I see the United States now. They just causing so much trouble throughout the world. I'm glad that Canada stayed out of this. Let them deal with it. Let them deal with their own dang stuff that they started, because you know it's not going to stop, eh? Because once this happens, and it's going to happen in the United States, you're going to have these outbreaks of terrorists. You watch. It's not over. America thinks it's over because he ran back to America. He's all safe now. I don't think so, buddy.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Extent? It was Iran who did that.
The only side that targets civilians is Iran.
I think it was done by Iran. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Iran bombing Iran, huh? If Iran's missiles are inaccurate, then by their logic, Iran couldn't even hit its own schools on purpose, right? So how did Iran manage to precisely hit and damage 37 U.S. military bases in 8 Middle Eastern countries? That's not even counting Israel and Cyprus yet. The furthest strikes reached up to 1,600 kilometers. According to the law of every accusation is a confession. Does that mean the U.S. bombed Pearl Harbor itself? The U.S. key to the Twin Towers itself on 9/11? Hard to believe, right? You have to admire that the Trump administration, they lie with such confidence and naturalness. If your ability to lie isn't up to their level, if you still have some moral bottom line, you simply can't become a politician. So, do you feel like they are insulting your intelligence or they're telling the truth?
President, you promised the Iranian people you would help them, but it sounds like you're willing to end this fight after your military objectives have wrapped up. Isn't that a betrayal?
Will I help them? I'd like to, if they can behave, but they've been very menacing. They're great people. They have an amazing population. It's amazing, smart, brilliant, energetic. They have a great, I'd love to help them, but they have to be in a system that allows them to be helped. And right now they're in a system that only allows failure. And I don't want that. And I want a system that's not going to be attacking us. We want a system that can lead to many years of peace. And if we can't have that, we might as well get it over with right now. Yeah, please.
Trump is already moving on to the next phase of the Iran war, which is to blame everybody but himself. Let's watch this clip of him first blaming his advisors.
And the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this.
Pretty clear that Trump is ready to throw everybody around him under the bus, unsurprisingly. And I think I heard Marco Rubio screaming in the background there as his presidential ambitions are potentially dashed. And there's a reason why J.D. Vance has been completely silent on this topic, because he wants nothing to do with this war, because he knows that it will be very unpopular when he wants to run for president. But not only are we blaming our advisors, the next thing Trump and the MAGA media are doing are blaming the Iranian people for not rising up against their regime.
President, you promised the Iranian people you would help them, but it sounds like you're willing to end this fight after your military objectives have wrapped up. Isn't that a betrayal?
Will I help them? I'd like to, if they can behave, but they've been very menacing. They're great people. They have an amazing population.
Well, that was the night that we launched Operation Epic Fury. But now that the United States is close to reaching its objectives there, where are the Iranian uprisings?
Now, of course, Donald Trump and his advisors knew that it was not realistic for the Iranian people to rise up and replace the regime, because the IRGC has a monopoly on force in Iran, and they also control much of the economic system in Iran, which means a lot of people in Iran have a big incentive to keep the current ruling structure in place, and those also are the people with guns. So no one is surprised that Iran did not rise up, but I'm not surprised that Donald Trump wants to blame his advisors for things not going well and wants to blame the Iranian people for not doing what he wants, which is to rise up and basically get slaughtered and imprisoned.
Well, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us.
J.D. Vance is now blaming the gas prices at the pump on Joe Biden. What? Joe Biden has been out of office since January 20th, 2025. More than 1 year. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and you started this war with Iran. Gas prices were around $3 a gallon when Joe Biden left office. All the increase that we've seen since then is because of J.D. Vance's and Donald Trump's war with Iran, that you all chose to do this, J.D. Vance. So use facts and stop the lying. Biden had nothing to do with the increase we're seeing at the pump now. That is you, J.D. Vance, and that is Donald Trump. You're just trying to run away from your decisions because you think you're going to be president in 2028. Nothing burns me up more than when people just stand there and blatantly tell lies when even MAGA can realize that you're lying. And you're lying, J.D. Vance. You're lying, just bold-faced lying. And that eyeliner of yours doesn't cover up the lies, doesn't cover it up at all. The press needs to be calling out J.D. Vance on how he can possibly say Joe Biden, over 12 months out of office, is causing gas prices to go up because of the war that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance started with Iran. Use facts and don't lie. Really? Love you for my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and the burner light bulbs. You all let J.D. Vance know what you think about this lie. Because I've had it with him just standing right there and just telling lies that even a 2-year-old would know is a lie.
The United States of America is engaged in yet another war in the Middle East, wherein Americans are dying. We have our embassies being bombed in Saudi Arabia. It's already an absolute disjointed shit show of epic proportions. And the question is, why? Why did he start this? Why did Trump agree with Benjamin Netanyahu to go into this war when his own Pentagon, when his own Joint Chiefs advised him not to do so? Why? Well, we know that the Epstein files were causing massive problems. We know that the Epstein files and Pam Bondi's DOJ are involved in a massive cover-up. Massive. And there was bipartisan support from both Massey and Ro Khanna to get this stuff released. Well, Kyle Kulinski on Twitter has some great analysis on this that we need to keep at the top of the news cycle, because in fact, these two things, the Iranian war and the Epstein files, are linked. Listen to how brilliantly Kyle lays this out. Pop this up. In 2011, Jeffrey Epstein emailed Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump, quote, spent hours at his house with one of the victims for hours. Epstein's houses were all bugged with secret video cameras. That's incredibly important. Given Epstein's known connections to intelligence, Mossad and Netanyahu have blackmail on Trump. Has a single journalist or reporter talked about this on mainstream media or asked Trump a question about it? It is a disgrace that this fact has been ignored and buried. Ask yourself why it is Trump has never said no to Israel about anything. Yes, the money he's taken from the Israel lobby provides an incentive, but the blackmail does as well. Drop Site News has reported that Netanyahu blackmailed Bill Clinton when he was president. They have a track record of this exact kind of thing. The email in question is from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. It says, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim, cap logs, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. And Ghislaine Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that. So Donald Trump, a lot of people pay him a lot of money and he dicks them over. So yes, the AIPAC lobby helped get him elected, but so did Elon Musk. And he kicked Elon Musk out of the White House, completely kicked him out, fired him from Doge. They're not even friends anymore. So I think Kyle is onto something, that there is something bigger here, because our own Pentagon advised him not to do this, that it would be a shit show. His whole entire track record, this man is so inconsistent, but he has been very consistent long before he ever descended on the escalator, that he was anti-war, especially wars in the Middle East. This is something that this president has always been consistent on until these Epstein files and that February 11th meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. And so I want to ask you this. Do we really think this guy, I'm going to play this clip. This video is from yesterday. Do we really think this guy right here has some mastermind about Iran and nukes and some sort of desire to help Israel build regional power there? Listen to this clip.
Finally, we honor one more American soldier, a fallen warrior of wars, and really terror. Staff Sergeant.
Okay, this guy's in charge of the war. It's so bad, you guys. It is so bad that he can't even go out and speak about it. And so you have Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, JD Vance, pudding boy right there, whose brain is completely cooked, and Benjamin Netanyahu. And what's really important to realize here is that for the first time ever in polling, Americans sympathize more with Palestinians than with Israelis. And so Benjamin Netanyahu knows the shot clock is running. He has had a 40-year dream. He even said this yesterday. Donald Trump helped him realize his 40-year dream to invade.
I'm saying, fuck that. I'm not taking the blame. These motherfuckers gonna get it.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
Typical Donald Trump to blame somebody else. Should have did research before you jumped into that damn war.
You know, I was listening to what that last guy said. Donald Trump actually would be easy to blackmail, you know, and but when you really think about it, he was with Netanyahu even in his first administration, and that was before the Epstein files. And I'm not sure if he had to convince him that hard. You know what I'm saying? I think Donald Trump would have been with this no matter what. That's just my opinion. And I'm just loving how he is coming all out. Well, you know, it was Jared and Steve Witkoff and Marco too. Well, like I said, well, then who's president? You know, Google is free. Doing research online is free. And number two, you got intelligence. What is the point in having central intelligence, having intelligent agencies, and you're not taking advantage and using those agencies to find stuff out? Even if Marco, Jared, and Witkoff told you the same thing, you could have still gone to your intelligence. You're the president. You can access all of that stuff real easy through your departments. You could have gotten all the information you needed before one bomb dropped. Trump sounds like a complete idiot. He does. He sounds incompetent. For real. It makes no sense. All right, because we heard this one.
America is screwed. I would never want to go to America, and I don't want to be part of America. I'm a proud Canadian, and I don't want to hear nothing about that demon country. Lucifer.
I'm saying, fuck that. I'm not taking the blame. These motherfuckers gonna get it.
the situation was very quickly approaching the point of.
Okay. It looks like it duplicated a bit there. But y'all, the bottom line is Donald Trump, you can't pass the buck only because you are the president. The buck stops with you. So when you say it's all these other people's fault for you dropping bombs on Iran with Israel, actually, no, you are the captain. You got to go down with the ship. See, that's the problem with people like you all over America. y'all want to be in charge of everything. But the minute things go wrong, you're the first one running. That's not leadership. See, leadership, you have to take the good with the bad. Y'all want all good and no bad. It doesn't work that way. And that's why you will never be looked upon as good leaders. You're not good leaders. You never been, because you got this thinking that anything that's bad, it's not you. I even seen y'all do that on jobs. I've been on jobs with y'all. Sometimes your signature on everything. It wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I'm like, you know what? That doesn't excuse you from anything. I've seen that, y'all. I've seen them screw up something bad, their name and signature would be all over everything, and they'd be sitting there screaming, "It's not my fault." I'm like, oh my goodness, right? But whenever it comes time to take credit for something, they will stick their chest out and hold their head up high. But when it goes wrong, it's never their fault. They're never the one at fault. They could be the only one on the project that they're working on, and it still ain't their fault that it got messed up. I've seen it. So I can't tell you how many times I've seen that on jobs. I can't tell you. Oh, yeah, take credit, steal your ideas on the job. Oh, yeah, they do all of that. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And you know which ones I love though out here? The ones you can best believe, the ones that always tell you, I got original thought. I do everything original. It's original. And then when you go look at their channel, it's everything from Fox News. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy, that ain't original. But I've seen that. You see that a lot out here too. They love getting on videos telling you how original they are in everything they do. And then when you go and start looking through their videos, they're repeating everything off of Fox News. I've seen that too. It's actually funny as hell. It's funny as hell. So Donald Trump, good luck with that. But somehow I just don't think you're going to get out of taking the blame for this one. And yeah, a lot of the MAGAs are leaving. They're upset with Donald Trump. I don't know why y'all just won't go down, in the ship with Donald Trump. Why won't you do it? You've been with him this far. So yeah, y'all gonna start getting shunned. It's already happening. You vote for Donald Trump and people find out you voted for Trump. Woo, man, y'all feeling the pain now, aren't you? It's funny. Again, you ain't gonna take no responsibility for that vote. Ooh, man. I tell you what, this is a perfect time to be alive, y'all. It really, truly is. All praises to the Most High for allowing us to witness this whole thing. And you know what, y'all? I want y'all to remember one thing. Donald Trump really didn't pick any of us for his cabinet except for the department, HUD. But everybody else in his cabinet, ain't us. So when this administration goes down, you can't blame us for nary thing. Nary thing. We weren't involved in none of the decision making. In fact, I got all the videos of Donald Trump talking about it's gonna make the white kids feel bad. Oh my God. Yeah, we got them videos. So you can't turn around and blame us for nothing. Nothing. All on you, bitch. That's all I got to say. It's all on you. So y'all have a wonderful day and come back because at 3:45 we're going to talk about Iran switching the US petrodollar to the Chinese yuan. So anybody that wants to get through the Straits of Hormuz, you can get through there as long as you got them Chinese dollars. Shalom, family.